In the last class, we talked about the types of culture. Now, today we are going to study the elements of Bangladeshi culture. So let's start. The elements of Bangladeshi culture can also be divided into two kinds, such as concrete or visible elements, and the second one is abstract or invisible elements. Now, you already know what is concrete culture and what is abstract culture. So let's find the definition of these elements here. Concrete elements of the culture of this country are various kinds of houses, furniture, dress, transport, food, farming tools, and books. Abstract elements of our culture are collective knowledge, outlook, and attitude, religious belief, and sense of morality, language, alphabet, arts, literature, music, ideals, and values, various branches of knowledge and science, etc. The people of our country created the concrete elements of culture for their own necessity. These elements can last for hundreds of years. For example, when we visit the museum, we see many things which are 100 years old. Seeing those, we can form a concept about man and culture of Bangladesh at the time. So basically what it wants to say is, you can preserve your concrete culture for hundreds of years. Like you can find a book which is 100-year old. Besides, you can find a building which might be 200 years old. So you can see this is only possible for concrete element of culture. You can find building, you can find books, you can find dresses like shari which is more than 100 years old. Well, as an example, here you can see two pictures. In both the pictures we can see beds, but they are not like modern days design or technology. These are old designed bed. In Bangla they are called palonko. If you haven't seen them, so you can go to the National Museum of Bangladesh in Shahbag and have a look at these palonkos, which are the bearers of concrete culture of Bangladesh at that time. And on the right side you can see Rabindranath's bed in Kutibari. Kutibari is in Kustia, so if you go to Kustia, please visit Rabindranath Thakur's Kutibari and you can see many things which Rabindranath Thakur used to have during that time. And this bed is one of those. You know, Rabindranath Thakur was born in 1861 and he died in 1941. So the bed is almost 80 years old. So that's the thing. Concrete culture can last for hundreds of years. I guess you are clear about this concept. Now then, the concrete and abstract elements of our culture are in no way isolated from each other. That means you cannot isolate or differentiate the concrete and abstract element of our culture. It is because we get the identity of abstract elements through the concrete elements. For instance, Nokshikatha is a concrete element of Bangladeshi culture. When flower, leaf, elephant, horse or any scenery is embroidered in it, then it becomes the manifestation of thoughts of women folk of this country. That is to say that you cannot find abstract elements without the help of concrete elements. Just like the idea or the plan behind making a building, we cannot see it, but what we can see is the building. When the building is made, when the work is complete, then we can see the building. Now we can guess the idea or plan behind making that building. So without that concrete element of culture, we cannot understand abstract culture or abstract element. So the design of that building is abstract, but now we can see the design with the help of that building. Right? Now then, you can see two pictures here. They are about Nokshikatha. On the right side you can see women making Nokshikatha. And on the left side you can see Nokshikatha, which is full of design, beautiful design and color. But can you see the idea or the plan while making this katha? I mean, what is inside those women's brain? What is going on? No, never. That's exactly what makes it abstract element of culture. But here, what we need to understand is in Nokshikatha, you cannot see a modern day car, you cannot see a bike, rather, you will see the kulshi, birds, animals, flowers, and the things which bear the testimony of rural culture and the culture of women folk in rural area. Alright? Now, change in one element of Bangladeshi culture brings about changes in other elements. For example, shari is an element of culture in Bangladesh. Due to technological changes, there have been changes in color and design of shari. Change is noticed in the fashion of wearing sharis as well. So this is quite a familiar scenario in our society. We can see now shari with various designs, with various colors, and we often see them in festivals or in traditional occasions, don't we? So you can say this is due to technological changes, or you can say societal change as well. Now you can see two pictures here. On the left side you can see the various ways of wearing shari. If you look closely here, you will find the women of different ages. Like you will find young women, you will find older women, and their ways of wearing shari or carrying shari is also different. On the right side, you can see a modern day picture. This picture is actually an advertisement of Arong. Here you can easily find the difference between these two pictures. So these sharis are really bright, their designs are different, and the way the younger women wearing this shari is totally different from the left side. And the older women here are also wearing shari, and their way of wearing shari is different than the young ladies. Now we can understand the effect of technological changes in culture, right? Moving into the next slide. Here you can see also two pictures. That is the difference between old fashion versus new fashion. Well, on the left side you can see 5 women or 5 ladies, you can say. They are wearing shari, and this is actually the old fashion. You can say this is the fashion of 80s, and the women at the time used to wear shari like this. I don't have much knowledge in shari, but I guess they are wearing Benarosi shari, and they are very gorgeous and beautiful. On the right side we can see the picture of new trend or new fashion. So the ladies here are wearing colorful sharis, and they are different from one another. In addition, the way of wearing shari is completely different than the picture of left side, that is from old fashion. Mind you, they carry a different fashion sense comparing to the old fashion. So you see, culture is never stagnant, rather it is always changeable. It's like society. Society is always changing, and you have to admit that. Well, that's all for today, but I want to repeat the main points I discussed today. The first one is the concrete and abstract elements of our culture are in no way isolated from each other. That means you cannot isolate the concrete and abstract culture, because if you see a thing that is of concrete element, you will find the abstract element also in that thing. Like Nokshikatha, the design itself bears the testimony of abstract element of culture. The second point is change in one element of Bangladeshi culture brings about changes in other elements. For example, suppose when we were in our childhood, we didn't have burger or pizza for our lunch or for our tiffin time. But in 2020, it's not a big deal. You can have burger or pizza at any time. And most of you, I know, have burger, pizza, or biryani in your tiffin time. Now, the other example is shari, where we can see the changes are not only confined into color and design, the changes are also noticed in the fashion of wearing shari, right? I hope you have enjoyed this lesson, but if you find difficulty in understanding any point, please feel free to comment. I will try my best to reply you or give you feedback. Okay? Now for today's homework, you have to write 10 elements of Bangladeshi culture where concrete and abstract culture cannot be isolated easily. Alright? So this is your homework, and submit the homework in the comment section. See you in the next class. Till then, take care and goodbye.